Who gets to see the world like this?
Oh, all right.
Have we started?
Yeah, we started.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So this is Tell Me Something Wild. That's the name of the show.
Now I feel like I'm not in it. I'm going to put it on now.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in it now.
Yeah, sweet.
We're in the Matrix.
We're in the Matrix. You're locked in, bro.
We're in the Tell Me Something Wild
Me
universe.
Something Wild universe,
We're in the TMSWU.
Yeah. That's cool.
We're in the JCU, the Jake Campbell
JCU.
universe.
Yeah, fucking oath. It's a scary place.
Yeah.
Welcome to the fucking chaos, bro.
What do you think of Kata when do you know this story?
Yeah, bro, that was hilarious.
It's so funny though, isn't it?
That was hilarious.
Because it was like he called him a slur to
Yeah, I know.
remind him that, Mr. Kata, your ancestors are Lebanese. Oh, mate, don't say that.
It was gold.
I punch people for saying
I
that.
loved it. I was trying to troll him on all his things like, oh, calm down, Habibi.
He wouldn't have liked that.
Nah,
That's
he did.
funny.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, I think it's hilarious. Fucking, I know. I've met Kata. He's just as crazy in person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. He's a Fruit Loop, and that voice of his, he's a fucking.
Yeah. Yeah, a mate of mine. I don't want to get into too many details, but a mate of mine is a part of a well-known political family and is well-known in the, Kata knows them.
Yeah.
And he rang him. The guy's like 30 now, and rang him and he goes, I'm calling you and all your brothers to see if you want to join the party because your father was a big deal in politics and I want to see if you got it in you. But this guy's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So my mate was like, no, thank you. I'll just stick to teaching, I think.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Oh, if Kata can be a politician, he's sort of like the closest thing we have to an American politician. You know?
Yeah, I would
Crazy.
say. And Hanson. Pauline
Hanson.
Hanson's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But it's a great point you've made, which is someone would say, oh, no, but they're very Australian. But what we're saying is that it's a cut and paste of extreme politics.
Yeah, fucking
It exists in every country. It just looks a little different culturally.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're a classic extreme right or extreme left version.
They would be perfect in a Democratic or Republican party.
Yeah, like you know, go to France. I'm sure you find somebody who's like the French version of Bob Kata. Which is just like snail munching, cigarettes
only
smoking.
in America do they get so much power,
Well, yeah, but it's not even real power. It's just like we've got a really big military and we can't give a fuck about the people who live on the streets.
Yeah, 100%.
And nobody gets healthcare unless you make over $1 million a year.
Yeah.
So we're super important and powerful.
Yeah,
but it's not
crazy.
real. I'm gonna sneeze in a second.
That's what people that think Trump's in power is crazy to me because he's like knowing how much of Fruit Loop he is. Like, there would be so much more chaos if he really had the nuclear codes and shit. Like,
yeah, he doesn't have the nuclear
way.
codes. Some assistant who did a few years at Washington State.
Yeah.
Who also has a bachelor's in psychology, who's a little bit better at handling Trump than Trump is handling it.
Yeah,
Trump
100%.
is in charge.
Yeah. Because if he had the nuclear, that's what I say, like, Rosie O'Donnell, buzz, nuke. You know, if she's not getting nuked, he's not got the codes. That's my fucking thing anyway. Yeah, well, the name of this podcast, Tell Me Some Wild, so I like to sort of start off with a wild story, but it doesn't have to be anything too crazy, just something you consider wild.
You and I were spitballing, because, I'm a child. I have not lived much of a life compared to you. Yeah. So I don't have much, but I guess what's always interesting, because you asked me if I've ever been in a fight.
Yeah.
I've not been in a fight, but I've been in almost 3.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's close. One of them was comedy induced.
Yeah.
One of them was just I'm not diagnosed with nothing. Yeah. But I definitely have something.
Yeah.
And one of my biggest issues is that I don't know the weight of words.
Yeah.
I'll say shit and people be like, the fuck? And I'll be like, I've just said words. And they're like, yeah, but those words have meaning. It's like when somebody's grown up as a minority. Like I've been saying wog my whole life.
Yeah.
technically you can't be saying
Yeah.
wog if you're not a wog.
Yeah.
Couldn't give a shit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Comedy, I think comedians have that experience with like retard.
Yeah.
Like we just say it because it's a word we
Yeah,
say.
but I think it's also people's choice if they let words affect them.
Right,
you
it's
know?
like the weight of things.
Yeah,
It's like, is there any childhood-based trauma connected to a phrase or a thing?
Yeah.
Like, I personally had a real issue with guys referring to each other as the lads.
Yeah,
because the guy that bullied me in high school got all the boys together on camp, all into a room, and decided, all right, lads, we are the lads, and we are going to avoid Josh.
Yeah.
And so for a while, the lads meant people that hate Josh. So it bothered me for a long time.
Yeah, I get that.
And it was like, lads is just the thing we say. I'm getting better at it. I take ownership of it now.
Yeah,
I kind of say it on stage, ironically.
Yeah.
But like,
it used to have an effect.
It used to have a meaning.
I get that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, my dad used to call me a runt when he'd bash me.
Right, and like
the
only association I have with runt is when I was referring to my dog, who was the runt of the litter.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything bad. Whereas if someone accidentally just referred to you as a runt, just because you'd punch on.
Yeah, well, there was a time where I would. Now I don't give a fuck.
Right, because you've done the work.
Yeah, and it's all. No way, that's it. But I got this will get cut out too. We got a mate at work that's half Torres Strait Island, half what's he? Sicilian.
I got a question for you. Go.
Yeah, and he calls himself the Mudwog.
The Mudwog.
Yeah.
What wog is he? Torres Strait Island.
What is he? Greek. Torres Strait Island and Greek.
I got a good one.
Italian. Romano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Torres Strait Italian is funny. The other one that I know, I worked with her for a bit. She's half Aboriginal, half Arabic.
Ooh, Arab
She
original.
looked good too, bro. Like she was white. She was white
bro.
Lebanese, but she had the indigenous features and the Aboriginal features are kind of similar because it's like a sharp nose and big lips.
Yeah, bro.
And she looked good, but you wouldn't have even guessed.
Yeah.
But it was a good combination.
Yeah, bro. I know.
And she's been looking for somebody like her because they don't, they're like a new version because the immigration of Australia is only just starting.
Hook a brother up, bro.
Yeah, bro.
So, a mixed breeded mongrel.
Arabic original.
Yeah, I like that, bro. I used to date a Chinese Aboriginal girl, and she was beautiful, man.
Yeah, when we did, we had a sister school, a Japanese sister school, and one of the girls came in from there. She's half black, half Japanese.
Yeah,
she looked Papua New Guinean. That's what that makes.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is technically where they are. Like those
oath.
islands are Oceania, Asia.
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
true.
It's half Asian, half African.
Oath. Yeah,
that's what they ended up looking like.
Yeah,
but here's my question for you.
Yeah.
If you could choose, like you're in heaven, your soul's about to go into another body. If you could choose what race you want to be, what would you choose?
Man, that's crazy. That is a crazy question, but it's cool. I've never thought of it, eh?
I've thought about it.
Have you? Yeah. I try to think of maybe, I don't know. Maybe like a Polynesian or something.
That's my answer.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
They're the best.
Yeah, they are.
I've got a list of why.
Yeah.
Why would you say Polynesian?
I don't know, because they're good, like halfway between everything, sort of thing. Like they're like not like they're good. And like Polynesians are sick people. They're all
good
pretty,
people.
Yeah, they got.
These
rhythm.
are my reasons.
Yeah.
So if I got to choose my race, coming into this back into Earth, I would choose probably like Maori or Samoan.
Yeah.
Because this is my reasoning. Doesn't matter what you look like, you're gonna get pussy. You can be fat, you can be skinny, you're gonna get pussy. Family is important.
Yeah,
They've got a good tribe mentality.
Yeah.
You can eat
proper.
and it doesn't matter.
Just get bigger.
And they're hard workers. The majority of them
enough.
are hard. They don't give a fuck what the work is.
Talented
They've got to provide.
singers.
Yeah, they're
musicians.
talented singers,
Yeah,
musicians. They've got everything.
Yeah,
They have a place for art. They fucking have a good family. They're big fellas.
Yeah.
And they're good.
Yeah.
The only problem, they hate gay people. But hey, everybody hates gay people.
Nah, fucking not all of them. There's plenty of gay.
Oh, there's a lot of gays,
bro.
but it's fun watching them deal with them.
It's
like it's like sometimes you see the indigenous community wandering around Australia, and like there's like a clearly femme gay guy who's just like an Aboriginal guy, but he's like moving around like some sassy white queen. And it's like how they deal with this.
Yeah, well, it depends.
But what's funny is that they punch cunts.
Oh,
like
100%,
they're aggressive.
bro.
A gay Aboriginal will fight more than a normal.
I was just about to say that. There's a fella up in Innisfail and that cunt can fight.
Throws hands. You told me about
bro,
him.
Yeah. That's
He'll
it.
throw hands, dude.
I don't know. That would be like the crazy thing about being in a gay relationship. For like, I'd consider like punching on with each other. I know it's probably bad.
Yeah.
But it's like,
well, apparently the divorce rate in gay relationships are the lowest.
Yeah, I can see that.
I find that hilarious.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My theory, or I'll go for it.
Yeah.
My theory is that, and the reason why probably they're the most aggressive is because they're the closest to like motherland times, like the indigenous people and like African people. And like the reason why they're the most aggressive is because I think that gay people are biological and the evolution.
Yeah.
And gay people were actually designed were an adaptation because the men went to hunt and the women stayed back to forage. But someone had to defend the women.
Yeah.
So gay men were an adaptation. So
that's
that
really interesting.
Right, because then they wouldn't fuck the women.
Yeah.
The women would be protected because they're still men, right?
Yeah,
Aggressive men.
Yeah.
And then also you have to remember that there are menstrual cycles for women. So there's good times to fuck and bad times to fuck.
Yeah.
So when it was a bad time to fuck, but the alphas guys were still horny, the gay guys were there cum dump and everybody was safe.
That's fucking
The boys got what they wanted, the men got what they wanted, and the women were safe.
Yeah, that's a fucking really interesting
That's how
theory.
gay people
I
became.
like that. I always like to try and analyze shit like that too. That's really interesting.
Because like
makes sense, yeah.
Like then religion.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Religion came later.
Yeah.
Gay people existed before religion.
Yeah.
The Greek history is a great ancient Greece is a great example of that.
I know, yeah. That's crazy. But that makes a lot of sense. That's cool. That's cool to think on.
So yeah, if I could come back as a race, I'd come back as a Polynesian.
Yeah.
I think. Or maybe like some sort of like Balkan European, like small European, as long as I didn't live in that country.
I sort of thought of that in a thing, but I thought, Polynesia's is a good mix between it all, you know? Like
I think so. They got all the good values, right? Family, food, hard work.
Yeah. And you know,
that's it. And music, you said they got
blackish,
a good art, and they're blackish, so like they've got a little bit of a novelty to them. Yeah.
Nah, let's go. Yeah, I think good mix Polynesian's good too. There's my mate, the one I've seen on the weekend. He's half Maori, half Aboriginal. He's a legend. Yeah,
wow,
talented singer. You should hear him sing. He's got one of the best voices. Yeah, I call him Black Sheeran because he sounds like Ed Sheeran, but black. Yeah, he's a legend.
Really? He sounds like Ed Sheeran.
Amazing voice. Amazing. It's so annoying because it's so effortless. And he's also real critical of his own voice.
Yeah.
So he's always like, I'm struggling. And it's like, fuck you, cunt.
Yeah.
Like,
sounds
if
really
I
good.
could sing like him, I would have taken over the world.
That's
by now,
great.
100%. But he's like... Yeah, but he's such a cool dude. He's one of my best mates. He's a fucking, you'll meet him one time.
What's he do?
He is, he's doing like a mature age apprenticeship in Stradbroke Island.
Okay, so he's restarting life.
Yeah,
New chapter.
Yeah, he's had a pretty wild time. He's like, me and him, like, it's crazy. So his cousin was my best mate growing up. I might have told you stories about his cousin. It was the one that I was at his wedding and punched on with him at his wedding. Cool. That was his cousin. And
bro, we've lived two very different lives.
Yeah.
I think about how you and I are friends all the time.
Yeah.
Because I appreciate you, man. Like,
cheers,
I love
man.
how supportive you are of me and how like we get along really well. But we are very fucking different. Dude. We live very different.
But I like
lives.
that.
I appreciate that too.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting a different. Like, I was helicopter parented. My parents are super anxious. One of them admits it, one of them doesn't. But, like, I was very protected as a kid. And so my first, like, experience of, like, the world was when I got hospo jobs. And I got to hang out with immigrants and people who lived a different lifestyle. And then comedy as well.
Yeah, that's it. So you sort of get a vicarious understanding, which is good, man.
The more I hang out with you guys, the more stories I get. Like, the more lives I get to experience. But then also I get to find my own journey and go on my own journey.
And like,
what do I want to experience that you have? And what do I want to avoid that you have?
Well, that's what I like about having the stories I have, because it's like, I don't recommend them. Like,
well, here's the other thing, man, is one thing I've learned is like, at the end of the day, a negative experience in the moment is just a great story to tell
100%.
later. Because sometimes I get really nervous about traveling. Because like, it doesn't always work out. You don't know where you are. You don't know what you're doing. But my rule is like, the first 48 hours, you have to accept they're going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not going to know what you're doing or where you are, but then you kind of get into the groove because it's become your new reality. You want to enjoy this. And it's like anything, and it's also like any uncomfortable situation. If you're not going to die from it, then it's going to be a great
bro,
story.
what doesn't kill you could kill on stage later on.
Exactly. That's I'm going to take that.
Yeah.
What doesn't kill you will probably
kill on stage. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, because it's fucking, well, stories are good. And it's like, I think that, like, I like trying to stay positive, like, even when the darkest of my despair, that's what keeps me from, like, becoming a miserable, bitter person. Is like
what?
a thing. I want to make sure that, like, even being through the fucking chaos of my life, like, I want to show people, and that's why I love comedy, because it's like, I feel like that's what I want to do up there, is sort of show people, like, we can all laugh, like, it doesn't matter what shit you've been through or what sort of fucking chaos of a life you've had, like, there's always room for laughter, like, we can always find a reason to laugh, and we can laugh through the pain, sort of thing.
100%.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I love the phrase. It's the simple, and it's comedy equals time. Tragedy plus time equals
100%,
comedy.
yeah.
Like that's the truest of things.
Yeah.
The subjective part is how much time.
Yeah.
That's the tricky part.
Yeah, 100%. That's what made me think a lot, because you're 23.
23.
23.
23
So, like,
going on 16.
Yeah. But it's crazy because that, to me, like, your maturity level and just your presence, because that's what's cool about you. You have an authority about yourself, which is not a bad thing.
No, I know. Some people hear that and be like, the fuck? Who does it think?
Who do you think? Yeah, I get that too, but I feel like the way you hold yourself,
and to
you
those
don't have to
people,
worry.
I roll my eyes.
Yeah, fuck them. No way.
Okay, mate. How's your relationship with your father?
No, you got me and Richo, the mates that'll fucking sort.
Well, that's actually one thing I love about comedy, and also just being mates with guys like you. It's like I feel so safe.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's probably bad because, like, I'll say shit at gigs when I know you're in the room because I know if, like, shit happens.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good.
Jackie's here to save the day.
I'm glad to be that. Yeah, that's good. And you should be allowed to say what. And that's what I mean. That's a good thing about it.
There's always a line, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like if
maliciously saying things, but we're just saying things.
That's the thing I've always said is, like, you should be able to say anything. It's the intent that matters.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
If it's malicious, then you can smell it. You can hear it in the tone. Not even the words, the tone.
Yeah.
You can hear when somebody's saying something for the sake of saying it when it's malicious.
Yeah.
By just the way they say it.
And it also becomes not funny then, because you've lost control of 100%. Your emotions. To be funny, you have to be in control. So it's like, if you're angry and fucking just then it's
and you
not
know what?
fun.
Like, as a young-looking person, not very non-threatening.
Yeah.
One thing that, just how I'm built, half wog, a lot of emotion. Sometimes I crash out on stage. When people don't like if people aren't laughing, I get a little bit aggressive.
Yeah.
And I know part of it is that I don't look like you or like Richo, like big fellas. Yeah. And so when they see me, they go, he's having a tantrum.
Yeah.
But I also know another part of it, not to boast, but another part of it is like, it's well said.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not just
100%.
swearing and saying I want to punch on. I'm like being articulate in my crash out.
100%.
And so that is like...
Yeah, and you still have control.
Right, because 100%. It's important that...
I've always said that's my favourite thing about you, like, in your sets, because it's refreshing, it's good.
Right.
And it's like, subverts the expectation.
Yeah.
You're up there, and even when you done the most recent tradies gig, like when my drunken mates, and I loved them too, like, they were all apologising themselves, like, nah... I know that pisses some people off, but I like a rowdy crowd, and you dealt with them better than anyone else. I love
as long as I've got some time to know that you're going to be like that,
and
I've got shit set up. Like one of your mates, he's a good boy, but he was wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I know.
And like he just started rambling, and when he did, I just went, "Shut up, Wusso."
That was gold. That was perfect.
And it got him.
All the lads cracked up, and it was. He introduced me to. I might have told you. He introduced me to his missus that I knew, who knew her and her family.
This is funny.
Like 7 or 8 times that night.
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
Yeah. Oh, he introduced.
He introduced her again.
I thought you were going to tell me the other thing that happened in Thailand, but maybe that public.
No,
we won't have that public.
Nah.
But yeah, that's funny that he introduced you to
which
her
is
5-7
just
times.
kept it. Yeah, it was so funny. But he's a really good. Like, as I spoke to him, like, after, and I was speaking to my mate, and he's in the background. He's, oh, I'm so sorry, bro. Like, I said, nah, cunt, that's good. Like,
Yeah, it's
people
funny.
are there having fun, and that's
Yeah.
what I want. Like, I know it's hard sometimes, but as I said, like, you dealt with it so well. Like, you
Yeah.
did, and that's how you got to do that.
I'll tell you a
stuff.
time when I didn't deal with it
Yeah,
well.
tell us that. Yeah.
So at 6 months into comedy, not very sharp, and I've been making jokes now where I'm like, oh, these are working. I'm gonna cough. Excuse me. I'm 6 months into comedy, and I'm like, I think I got something here. And I'm at a gig. It's a brewery. There's maybe 30 people in the room. Only 10 are listening. And there's like this weird odd couple. It's like this Indian lady and this like old white fella. But the way they like live in the same building, but that's it. It's weird.
Yeah.
Because they don't seem like they'd be traditionally friends. She's having a great time. He is depressed and clearly single.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm telling jokes. I'm not getting much, but he's like being like giving me like an eye roll and like being verbal about it. And I go, you're not liking this. All right, let me try this one. And I tried a new one and it didn't work. But in the bit, I do like a Sesame Street voice.
Yeah.
And this is when, before I knew how to like crash out intelligently,
Yeah.
I got just like sharp and snarky. And he goes, I didn't like it. And I said, that's maybe because the voice reminded you of when your uncle would do a sock puppet with one hand and fiddle you with the other hand.
Hilarious.
And the crowd kind of giggled and chuckled.
Yeah.
But his face was like,
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was, I got off and whatever. And then my mate Cody, who was hosting, came up to me. And all he told me was, hey, mate, I might walk you out later on. And I go, oh, okay, somebody had a problem.
Yeah.
But recently we were chatting about it, and he told me that that guy came up to him and go, I'm going to punch that cunt. I'm going to hurt that kid because what he said is so wrong. And I was like, great. But in that moment, he was definitely fiddled. The man was single for a reason. And bro, like, it was good to have big fellas around.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I think it gets to my head though. Like I'll get in trouble one day, and you guys won't be there.
Yeah, but I still don't think like because that shouldn't be on you. Like that's the thing. Like
also I wasn't I wasn't eloquent enough in comedy yet
100%.
to be like, how do I make fun of him or like make fun of the situation without hurting people?
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh, that's a great example of like when the words had way
malicious.
more weight to them than I realized.
Yeah, that's it.
Like I was just making a kid fiddle joke. We've made him
100%.
once, we'll make him again.
But
I guess I just didn't realize like how potent I was making it towards the guy in front of everybody. And also you have to take into account 45-year-old Aussie fella who's been single his whole life.
Yeah.
Definitely has some self-awareness issues.
100%. Yeah, that's it. Does not like to be
low self-esteem. That cunt's got a low self-esteem.
That's
he
a
really hates himself, and he really wants to put his neck on a shelf. I don't know.
Well, I get that. And that's the thing. Like, people are fragile. I remember the first time I seen Shane Hunter. He does that thing where he starts yelling at someone in the crowd about the bet. Have you seen him do that bit?
Sports bet?
Yeah, the sports bet thing.
Yeah.
And I remember, this is when I was first started going to Guilt Free, this way back, and I hadn't even been up yet. And I remember, and I was sitting next to the fella he started yelling at, and I started feeling so much like secondhand anxiety. Like,
from him yelling?
Yeah, because I'm like, and I was thinking, I don't know how I would have taken him yelling at me. Like, I don't know how, and I was like, I probably would have been fine.
But
like,
that is because that was a trigger for you
100%.
from something else.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like the run thing, right? It's like certain words have certain feelings and meanings.
Yes, 100%.
That we aren't even aware of.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, I knew that I probably would have been able to handle it, but I know probably 4 or 5 people that I work with that would not have been able to handle it.
Bro.
That would have been like, what cunt? You yelling
That's
at
one
me?
thing that I want to explore more, or just like, not in comedy, but one thing I just want to work on for people is like emotional regulation for men. Like people are always talking about how like men are abusive and men go straight to anger. But that's because that's the only negative emotion they were allowed to use as a child.
Yeah.
So it's like any language, right? if you never learned French as a kid, then how should I expect you to be able to speak French to me now that you're 25? In the same way, if you never learned proper emotional regulation techniques, how to speak about it, then your EQ, your emotional intelligence, has never been developed.
100%.
And therefore, how do I expect as your partner or as your, I don't know, mother or best mate, how do I should not be able to expect you to be able to speak that emotionally intelligent language. Not because you're a dumb cunt, because you didn't learn it.
100%.
You don't know that it's important. One thing that you kind of highlighted that I find fascinating, not funny, but my hobby is behavioral psychology. I find this all fascinating. I
like that too.
Is something that I've noticed is we judge people on their actions.
Yeah.
But everybody's acting over intention.
Yeah.
And when we do things, we're judging ourselves on intention over our actions.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing.
So the problem is we're not judging people the way we judge ourselves.
Nah.
But if we're going to recognize that our intention was the right thing, but our actions were wrong maybe, then why can't we recognize that that's how other people are? Yeah. And I bring that up because your dad was just reacting to the environment in which you grew up in, and you were reacting in the 100%. Environment you grew up in. Yeah. And as your environment changed, and the people you lived around changed, and your life experience changed, then you started to notice where the action and the intention align different. And now you're getting better at aligning both of those things.
Yeah. I really, my situation, especially with my dad, was different too, because I have an older brother that's 10 years older, and he was... like, my mum and dad weren't together when he was born. Like, they were sort of one-night stand. My dad was, like, 12 years older than Mum. He was, like, 30. She was 18 when they met, like, sort of, like, crazy.
Your dad was 12 when he impregnated?
Nah, 12 years older than my mum.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, 12 years older.
I was going to say, bro, I didn't know you were in one of those housing states.
Nah. Well, my brother has a kid, a daughter that's 28 and has a 9-year-old. He was a 35-year-old granddad. So that's the family I come from.
You got out.
No, the hillbillies.
I'm kidding.
So my dad didn't raise him much, but then got back together with my mum and had me and my sister. So my brother was a real mama's boy and really soft, and then he turned hard on the drugs. So he had a shit life too. My dad wasn't the best to him, but not intent. And my mum really protected him from my dad. So I feel like my dad really wanted me to be he didn't want me to be like my brother, so he was extra hard on me. And even like, I swear I was never meant to be like a rough, tough sort of person.
No, you're a sensitive guy too.
Very sensitive, very like, I used to, and that's the thing, like growing up, and that's why I'm real sure of myself, like fucking, like who I am, because I cop so much shit about everything I did growing up. Like, I love music and poetry, and my dad thought that was gay as fuck, and he was very homophobic, very like, like fucking, he thought everything I did was, and he was just disappointed in everything that wasn't fucking like boxing and football and everything tough. Like if I was doing anything out, like the music thing, it's nuts because he thought I was gay as fuck for music. And this is because I started playing before I was like pubes. I didn't know what the fuck I wanted back then. And like, so I just started because I love music. But it's funny, like growing up, being able to play music has got me so much fucking pussy. It's like,
that's so funny.
This cunt, like,
I had to kind of explain to Dad.
Oh, he did, by that time he didn't give a fuck. Like, I think
one of them walks out the bedroom and goes, the fuck you got her? And he goes, I know how to do the major chord on a guitar. He goes, teach me.
Yeah. But that's the thing with him. Like, he was a strange man. Just like, he didn't like music. I never heard him. He only thing he ever listened to was the horse racing channel, bro.
Really? Not even like a bit of Daryl Braithwaite or fucking...
never.
What's that guy's? John Farnham?
Never. Like, I knew he liked a couple of songs and I played him at his funeral, but like... that, like, I never heard, like, ever seen him, like, put on music.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he was just that miserable. Like, that was too...
Was there ever, like, a word or a phrase that you didn't even realize, but you said it to your dad and it just made him go berserk?
Nah, but I knew, like, was there?
Or a topic or something, and you were like...
Yeah, there was things.
That to Dad, he'll just go fucking crazy.
Yeah, because his dad killed himself. So he was, like, pretty sensitive about all that
Suicide?
Shit. Yeah, suicide. And he thought it was, like, really weak. And I remember, and like and drugs too,
he was
because
big.
he and his mother, like they were both drug overdose deaths. His parents, so he's like drugs are bad. Like when he found out I was smoking weed, he flogged me.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, he bashed me, bro. And it was nuts because I didn't touch drugs again for ages after that. Like, so it's fucked, but it worked. Like, and even like I don't even. It wasn't even intentional. Just sort of like I just remember like since he found out, it was too hard to get around. Like him. So I just stopped doing it, you know, and I was terrified of copping floggings.
Yeah.
And like, and even I tell this as I'm trying to turn this in Jake too about how the worst flogging I ever copped, like he proper bashed us one time, and I can't remember what I did, like, but I was a cheeky kid too, like I deserved a bunch of floggings. Don't worry, like I wasn't just getting flogged for nothing, but I can't remember what I did, but I do remember that Queensland lost the Origin that night.
Yeah.
So it's like he was probably already fuming about that.
Oh, yeah.
And then like, I just and like.
But it goes back to the thing we're talking about, how like the only negative emotion men were supported to learn was anger.
Yeah.
And because they had to be tough as kids, defend the family, defend themselves.
Yeah.
But then what next?
Yeah.
Like no awareness of sadness and
Nah.
and how to handle that and like how to breathe
100%,
through it.
yeah. And I feel like I'm lucky with everything I've been through because I've learned, and like having children is a big thing. Like when you have children, like
perspective opens up.
man, you watch them having blow ups and you think, fuck, I do that. Like I've got to learn how to regulate myself so I can teach them
how to regulate
themselves.
That's perfect. And that's the biggest thing we see in certain communities. Like I struggle to see that in the WOG community, is that there's just passion. That's what my dad calls fucking loud. But it's like if one of the kids is being difficult, you just yell at the kid. But then they learn that that's the only way to handle stuff. So but then an outsider looks at all that and is like, that's just very dysfunctional. And they're like, no, it's functional. I yell, they yell, we'll chill out, we're friends. Like I got in trouble at school. Some of the kids were like, bro, you got to calm down, because I was like raising my voice real quick. And I was like, this is just how we talk. This is just like, what do you mean you won't give me a pencil? And they're like, whoa. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm fine.
And
they're like, chill, brother.
Just chill.
I was like, we're built different.
100%.
You know what I mean?
And that's the same.
And I chill out now, but my sister's still pretty like, she describes it. That's how my dad justifies it. We're just passionate. It's so funny. And my sister's
passionate.
Just and fucking passionate. And my sister's like that too now. She gets aggressive. She doesn't even know it. And I'll be like, easy. And she goes, what? I'm just talking to you. And I'm like, yeah, but you want to punch on. You know? The way you're talking is like, there's like
she's lucky.
5
she's
figure
a girl.
fist behind your words.
She's probably safer. She's allowed to be a little bit, but like as a man, like that's the thing. Like
it's just like it's like certain communities aren't aware of
the aggressiveness.
They're unaware of like the lack of tools, emotional tools are actually tools, and they're dangerous tools. They fuck up the next generation.
100%.
But we're on the journeys. First thing is to bite the apple, realize that you're naked, and then you start working on clothing yourself.
Self-awareness, and like I like that you like looking into behavioral psychology. Behavioral psychology is so fascinating.
So fascinating.
It's the best thing. I think as comedians, like it's something essential for us to sort of have a good. And Shane Hunter, it's crazy talking to him. He makes me feel so stupid. But I really like how he makes me try to think.
Yeah, because you learn something every time you talk to somebody like that.
All the time.
They always have something interesting.
Yeah. I feel comfortable talking to most people, and I don't mind. But him, it's like I really have to kick my shit into gear.
Yeah,
like I'm like,
for sure.
I'm like, I know what some of them words mean.
I know how to spell that.
No.
But
it's cool.
But it's an interesting thing. And even just like noticing certain people in an audience now, like how certain people act, like I've noticed, like if a mate's on his own, if a fella's on his own, he'll keep quiet and enjoy the show. But a lot of the time you'll get like the boy, like the lads, like they're in their 30s, they got professional lives. There'll be like 4 or 5 of them having a couple drinks, watching comedy. One of the cunts will speak up. Now he's not doing it because he thinks he's funny. He's doing it because he's trying to prove something to his mates.
Yeah,
they're probably
100%.
more successful than him
100%.
in life.
Yeah.
And he needs to make a point that he's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, yeah.
And it happened to me once at a gig on the north side, and he started going, but unfortunately, I'm better than you at this. I do this. I've done this a bit.
Yeah.
And so he was going, and I was getting him, and you
Yeah.
could hear he was getting frustrated.
Yeah.
And I had to like put a kind of full stop at one of my jokes.
Yeah.
And then I saw him go again, and one of him mates just kind of grabs him by the shoulder, like, ease
calm
up,
down.
Tiger. Because this boy's one
Yeah.
line away from
Fucking oath.
describing you as a degenerate.
Yeah.
And I would have.
Fucking oath. Were his mates cracking up as you were peppering him too?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, and that's the
So
best
it was making
thing.
him even more frustrated
100%.
because he wasn't winning the thing he
Yeah,
started.
they're the
It was
best.
kind of like when you throw he's like, oi, check this out. I'm going to throw this rock at this bear.
Yeah.
And then the bear bites back, and then they're laughing at him because he fucking chose to poke the bear.
Yeah.
It's like, not calling myself a bear or anything.
Nah, but
like,
it's the perfect. Because that's something you learn through doing it, is that dynamic. There's all sorts of dynamics. Like when you see
got a very
couple-
useless ability at like defending myself from a roast.
Yeah,
Like it's a useless ability, but like certain cunts can't mess with me now.
Yeah,
but like
fucking oath.
to go into like the stories of like when I used words. It's like if you come for me, like I can't defend myself physically.
Yeah,
if you
but
come for me verbally, I
Fucking
will
oath.
come for you verbally.
Which
the
is
problem is, I do comedy. Like usually people pay to see me do it.
yeah.
So like sometimes I go real harsh because the general room will be like, "That's funny that
Fucking
he just
oath.
said that." But I struggle to turn that off if we're like just like at a pub setting or if we're just like around with mates.
Yeah, I know.
So like you're more
I
likely
know
to
that.
punch on there.
Yeah.
And like that happens sometimes.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, you're in
One
comedy
time-
mode. Yeah.
Exactly. One time I was walking on the street, and there was like a bunch of young people next to me and my mate. And I think she one of the girls in that group stood on my foot, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember. And she goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I said, "Oh, it's all good. I kind of liked it." And I was just being silly. I didn't find her attractive, so I didn't like think about that.
Yeah.
But then I'm walking, and then I hear some of the boys she's with going, "The fuck you say, cunt? Come back here. I'll give you something to talk about."
Yeah.
And I was froze.
Yeah.
And then my mate was like, "What did you just say?" And I was like, I just said, he goes, "Do you know what that means?" I was like, "I guess I don't.
Yeah.
I guess I don't really realize that I
Yeah.
was flirting by accident."
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it's just like I
funny.
fully just like said, "Touch me more, woman."
Yeah,
And they were
yeah.
like, "Did you just?" And I was like,
but
"I'm just saying words."
That's fragile, two of them. Like, but
Oh,
it's
of course,
still
but, like,
yeah.
also
But
just,
still,
like,
yeah, you
I
got to
should-
be aware of other
I
people's
was just so
fragility.
unaware, dude.
Yeah, but that's
So
all right.
unaware.
You'll be fine. I think.
So one thing I've learned is like, so I don't know if you have this, but like, some people will like, I'm so numb to like concepts talking about premises because like it's my job.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't get paid, but like it's
Nah.
my job in comedy to like write a crazy thing down and then like convince the audience that it's funny.
Yeah.
So I wrote a bit about eating ass.
Yeah.
And now
I've
just
heard
saying the words eating ass is
it.
like, it's just a bit.
Yeah.
But like I was telling a mate, he was like, "What are you working on?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm working on a bit about eating ass and how
Yeah,
women
yeah.
are doing it." And he kind of like started cackling and like freezing. He's like,
Yeah.
What? And I was like, "Yeah, women are eating ass now." Because it's like, it's a concept for a joke. It's it's like a written story.
Yeah.
Whereas he's like, you just said eating ass in public, like
Yeah.
loudly.
There you
Like
go.
I got no awareness of it anymore.
Nah, but that's okay.
It's funny though.
I like it. I don't recommend change.
No, I think it's great. I
Me
think it's
too.
what makes us good at what
Yeah,
we do.
fucking
But
oath.
also you gotta like be a little bit aware.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I've accidentally like been on the phone with my mum, like talking about an interaction at a comedy show and like said cunt too loudly.
Yeah.
And then all of these like middle-aged people in the shopping center
I
like,
get it, yeah.
"Excuse you, young man." And I was like, "Oh, I just said
Sorry,
cunt really
yeah.
loudly on the phone."
Yeah, sorry, cunts.
Yeah.
But that's all right. Like, fuck it. That eating ass bit's hilarious. Have you seen the Reece Walsh drinking the toilet water thing? You seen that?
Reece Walsh.
He's a football player. He's like a
Oh yeah,
pre-boy
yeah.
Broncos
Did he
player.
toilet?
Well,
water?
he installed a new toilet in his house, and he made a silly video of him drinking the water.
That's funny.
And he got in a lot of shit for it. Everyone's hanging shit.
Why
at
do
him.
these fucking idiots put shit online?
I know.
Insane to me. Fucking dogs drinking
No,
toilet water.
dumb as fuck.
Like, you
Dumb
should
as
know.
fuck.
Like,
I
there's
know.
already people watching you fuck around on a drinking night out with no cameras and they're recording you. You think that posting something on your Instagram is going to be a good idea?
It's crazy too, because since
and we call these men heroes.
I know.
We get our kids to look up to them.
That's what I've been saying.
Fathom. We purposefully give these people CTE to do something. Like even America understands. Put a helmet on these motherfuckers. And we're like, no, it's more fun when they do it skin on skin. and then we watch a guy who professionally gets concussions, drink toilet water, and we go, this is insane. What are you thinking? And I'm like, but it's what we've built him for.
Fucking oath.
He thinks that's Mount Franklin. He doesn't know that that's toilet water.
Yeah, I know, he doesn't give a fuck. And like, it's funny.
He probably sleeps in his dog's bed.
Since that incident, he's been crushing at football. So I've been making a joke like, all these kids are going to be out there fucking drinking smashing toilet water now. But then I thought about it.
Something in the Ajax.
Is it like drinking toilet water is pretty fucked up? But sticking your tongue up someone's arsehole is pretty fucked up.
It's crazy, dude.
So it's like...
That's my whole point is like, I don't know if it's social media or if it's this usage of porn. Probably porn, a bit of both.
Yeah.
But like 20-year-olds are doing crazy shit.
Well,
20-year-olds are doing things that people who have been married for 50 years do to repair a marriage.
Yeah.
Like that's something that Bernadette and Gary do because they're like, let's spice up the relationship.
Yeah, man.
Otherwise, we got to start opening this shit up. Yeah. And then Gary gets a tongue in his ass and he's like, I want to buy a bidet now, but I like this marriage again. But then like now we've got like his like son is meeting this girl at his casual KFC job, and she's like, let me show you something. Yeah. And he's jerking her off with one hand and then puts a pinky on with the other finger. Next thing you know, he's downloaded Grindr because he just wants to know what's out there. Yeah. And now he's getting tongue fucked by an Asian twink and his mind's being blown. Yeah. And now he's not legally allowed inside an R.M. Williams anymore because apparently he's not an Aussie man.
Yeah. Which the whole porn thing is nuts because a lot of people don't notice, and I don't watch porn, and I'm also pretty, like, I don't care what anyone does, but I think it's fucking evil, man. I think porn,
absolutely, man.
And it
scares a battle for
me.
Sure.
What the fuck? And I understand that too. Like, I know when I have watched porn. Like, I probably haven't watched porn in about 8 years.
Oh, wow.
But I've watched it once in 8 years, which is a funny story I'll tell you one time about the one time I watched porn in that 8 years. But, I did it because it was like, it was fucked. And the shit that you would get suggested was just horrendous. And I don't know, I feel like I was lucky. Like when I was younger, like porn for us, like you'd have to steal a magazine off your dad or your mate, like, and you'd share it with your mates. And then we got DVDs, and like, so DVDs, like you'd have a DVD with you and you'd all share it with your mates, and there'd be one half decent scene. And there's some of the DVDs I remember having as a kid, like some of the shit on there was fucking horrible. And it's like, there'd be one half decent scene and like that shit. So I was lucky that I wasn't exposed to like just having like if I wanted to see anything right now, I could
absolutely. We could watch it together,
bro. 100%. We could chuck it on here, and like that was not a possibility.
You should
chuck someone. Yeah. Two Girls, One. Julian made me watch Two Girls, One Cup for the first
time. Isn't it crazy when people show you porn?
Yeah, I know.
Like, check this out.
I know.
It's insane.
It is. Yeah, I know. And to me, as I said, like, I don't care. Porn to me.
That's numbness.
Yeah.
When people are like, "Oi, this is funny."
Yeah, check this out. Like, and it's always some horrendous. And that's what I'm like. There's some horrendous shit out there, and that's I've heard. Even Richo tells me some of the shit he watches out of curiosity, and I'm like, that's fucking horrible.
It's crazy,
you should be on a watch list.
100%.
Yeah, you know.
I think, it's a numbness.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of things in life that lead to numbness. Some of them good, some of them bad.
Yeah.
I think comedy, like I said, like premise building has gone to a numbness of certain topics.
Yeah,
like there's certain things I'd say, like the weight of words, like some certain topics have lost weight.
Yeah.
Certain slurs probably should matter to me that don't matter to me. But then also there's things in life like porn or like violent material.
Yeah.
It's like I get the argument of like too much Call of Duty is going to ruin kids or Fortnite or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it like promotes violence. I get that. Like, there's a numbness to it.
Well,
it's dangerous.
Even that with the Charlie Kirk shooting, when I looked that up, I seen him die from 6 different angles. Within fucking like of typing it in. It was insane.
And that's a great example of like there'll be people either your age, even younger, who watch that and don't really fathom the fact that guy just got shot. Because we've just got so much
desensitized to it.
Yeah, let's change the subject.
It is crazy. But with the one thing with the porn thing is like I'm scared for the next gen. Like, even for people your age, like, as I said, like, you've probably had access to everything.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm fighting it.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing. Like, I feel like, and that's
there's a time and a place, but like, it's just too accessible now.
100%.
Yeah. And it's an easy way out. As somebody who doesn't have like an employer breathing down your neck, like if you're in a creative rut, it's like a really easy way out. And I'm starting to learn strategies and take the time to figure shit out. Like, if I'm feeling a certain way and nothing's working, go for a walk.
That's it.
You know, or
do healthy, do some exercise.
Do something else, man, because it
don't
only
get
wastes
caught
time.
in that trap that dopamine hits.
It's a time wasting thing.
Procrastination.
Procrastination.
You know, and it's fucking I know it is. It's a scary thing, and like that's what there's so much. That's what I watched the Theo Von podcast where he gets like the Pornhub activist on there, and she explains like how much fucked up like exploitation porn is in mainstream porn sites, and that's something that got turned me off. And I remember like I remember when it was like when I was doing drugs like a long time ago, and I was watching all this porn, and then you'd slowly find yourself watching something, you'd be like, this is fucking horrendous. How did I get here? And that's what they do. The algorithms in porn sites, they just keep taking you darker, and that's so scary, man.
100%, man. Well, it goes back to this topic of, like I was saying about numbness. It's it's even like in comedy, like the bomb has to get excessively worse in order to feel it, or the crush needs to get excessively better to feel it. Because just like porn, you get to a point where you've experienced it so often, it doesn't turn you on anymore.
That's it.
And it's got to be extreme emotions in order to feel it. And sometimes that can be some weird shit.
Oath, man.
And that's how you know, like, you've fallen into a cycle. It's like the more money you bet, the more the more fucked up shit you watch, whatever
I get that too. Like, I feel with like having addiction and all these things in my family, like I get very scared of when I become too reliant on things. When some becomes necessity that should just be a luxury, I just cut it off. Like, even I stopped smoking cigarettes again. Like, fucking 100. I do that all the time. Like, I go through periods where I'll indulge, but then once it starts, like, I start thinking, fuck, I need this every day. Like, I'm like, nah, this has become a necessity.
It's not a treat anymore.
You know, and it's
I think it's
unhealthy.
fine to have unhealthy treats. Because they're treats. We don't have them all the time.
100%. But 100%. If you're relying on them,
everything in balance.
Fucking oath. It's
absolutely.
Unhealthy.
I'll tell you about a time I met a guy who didn't have much balance. But it was like weird to watch. So me and a comedy mate of mine, Cody Maverick, we were walking through the Burley Heads hinterland. Just having some deep and meaningfuls. And a guy who's like definitely hard to call him an edge shake because he was over the age of 50, or at least done enough drugs that he looked like he was over the age of 50. But had like a nice gold chain on. And I was like, what biker did you steal that from?
Crack dealer.
But he was, I was a bit confused. But he walked past us and he was kind of on the phone, I think. And he walked by and we were just having a private conversation. And then he just kind of turned and goes, the fuck you say to me, cunt? And I go, and I'm like freaked out. And Cody's like, it's all right, man. We didn't say anything to you. He goes, you better not have. And he kind of walked off. And we kind of were shooken. And we're just kind of like commenting on it. And we kind of moved on. And then we just hear maybe 200 meters have passed. And we just hear, oi, boys, lads. And Cody and I were like, no, we weren't talking about, because it looked like scary enough that he was far away now that there'd be a run-up. And we'd have to fucking leg it. And he just goes, lads. And we goes, sorry, man, like, we weren't saying anything about you. And he goes, oh, my bad. All good. Like, my bad, misunderstood the situation. My emotions got the better of me. And I'm like, what fucking YouTube video, what Gabor Mate type shit has this guy been listening to?